Hello and welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I talked about a skull that I had this unexpected connection with. Well, here's the story. So it's the Mitchell-Hedges skull, which was also the same skull that the Indiana Jones movie was based out of. And it was scheduled, there was an event scheduled to see it as a Mayan artifact in my city. And I'm like, there's no way I'm missing it. We did have a hurricane that was scheduled to hit the day after, and so I was really nervous if it would get canceled, but thankfully it didn't, because when are you going to ever see a Mayan artifact? I didn't really care about skulls. I was really, like I told you in my previous video, pretty creeped about them. So I left early, I got everything hurricane ready, and I left in time. And so we're all sitting in the room, everybody's waiting for the speaker or the keeper to talk about the skull. And I'm just like, oh, what is that? It felt like my heart was expanding like this. It felt, I want to say it was uncomfortable, but only because it wasn't familiar. I didn't understand, what is that sensation coming from my heart? It just felt so expansive. And then I'm looking around the room, and then I look over, and that's it. It was the skull. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's it. You know, I don't know if anybody else was not sensitive to it or not, but I'm like, that is it. And I know that for a fact because after I left that room, I didn't have that sensation anymore. So it has to be that skull. Anyways, so we're sitting there, and the keeper's like, okay, I brought the skull down, and Earth is in a really weird place right now. We really need to focus on love. So let's just do the meditation for the Earth to just spread love. And we're like, no problem, we're down. But we were like, hey, now that you're here, do you mind if we also have another intention with the skull, and that's to move the hurricane away? So this hurricane wasn't just an ordinary hurricane. It was 185 miles per hour, category 5. The last time there was a hurricane with that speed was like 82 years before, and it was unnamed. And it was just sitting off the coast of where I live, and we're like really nervous about it. So here's the part that really gets me each and every time, is it did move. A category 5 hurricane did move. So that kind of gives me chills to even think about, and it always makes me excited to talk about to others, like, oh my gosh, like, that skull. And I have a joke with my boss where the next day I go to work, I said, you're welcome. And he's like, for what? And I told him, what we did, and he knew I was leaving early to see the skull, but now it's an inside joke to where he's like, we need the skull when there's a hurricane. That skull is one of 13 master skulls, and it originated from a main skull. And my understanding is it's hidden beneath the ocean, but it's one of 13 master skulls. And the keeper did talk about the other skulls, that some of them were stolen and we don't know who's in possession of them. And we were all talking about, like, oh my gosh, we need to find them, because what if they have horrible intentions with it? So that was kind of funny. But anyways, that's a story I'll never forget. And ever since then, I was obsessed with skulls. And because I know that quartz is programmable. Am I saying that right? Programmable? Hopefully I'm saying that right. I was thinking I want to get other skulls that are programmable, so quartz. So I was starting a small collection of quartz, but actually my collection, what was my collection? My collection wasn't quartz initially. It was a couple of other ones. I was on my way for looking for good quality quartz. And then time went on, years actually went on, and I never really had an interest in getting more quartz or working with them. That interest kind of waned, and then just this year, I got attracted to them again, and my collection just grew like crazy. Like, I got so many skulls within such a short period of time. And in my local crystal community, I talk to others about my story, and about especially ones that are attracted to skulls. I'll see them buying skulls, and I'll ask, like, what got you into them? And they're like, I just don't know. I just all of a sudden love skulls. And I was just like, wow, that's interesting that people could just be attracted to them, because again, I was creeped out by them, and they were just attracted. But I'm wondering if they don't know why they're attracted. Like, it's calling to a certain people. I don't know. It's really fascinating. But anyways, the whole purpose of me wanting to record this video is I want to know if you have your own experience that's very similar to mine, because I think it'd be really cool if we could just put those pieces together to just unlock the mystery of like what are these 13 skulls about, you know, and how can I work with my own skulls. And you know, I had actually tried activating my skulls with the image of the Mitchell-Hedges skull that I have, and I have actually pictures of me with it. It's in my thumbnail, pictures of me with the skull as well as with the keeper. But anyways, I use that image to activate my skull. So when they get home, they get like a welcoming party, and then I'll put them in front of that image just to activate them. Of course, this is after I cleanse them and purify them. But anyways, hopefully together we can solve that mystery. And that would be really cool if others can share very similar stories where it was very palpable. So what my takeaway from that is, it was powerful and nothing else, you know, expanded my heart chakra. And I'd like to think that that was my doorway to really getting serious about working with crystals, is the way it expanded my heart chakra. This was not just a skull, but a crystal skull, and it was a quartz crystal skull. So that was a doorway for me really to get serious about working with crystals. And so anyways, that would be really cool if you guys could share your stories. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about what I've been pondering when I work with the skulls. I've been pondering, okay, well, why should I consult a skull when I can just consult AI? Anyways, I'm going to dive deeper about that, and I will talk about that in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a blessed day.